Out of nowhere? Pretty much. Today we're going to be talking about reboots.
Come on, guys, you all know what reboots are, right? It's pretty much something that, like, I don't know, it can be like the best idea ever, or maybe the worst idea ever.
What I'm pretty much trying to say is that reboots is basically kind of like a mixed thing. Sometimes it can be good, and sometimes it can be bad. But I kind of want to give out an example of like a studio making a bunch of remakes and some sequels on like a franchise, and every time they make a bunch of remakes, they never succeed. They just keep getting worse and worse as they continue. They keep making a bunch of remakes, and they just get worse and worse, and they never succeed. Then at the end, they end up just giving up. So yeah, I want to give out an example of that. I already have an example ready, so yeah, here it is.
In 1994, we got our first live-action Fantastic Four movie titled The Fantastic Four, and it did not do well at all. The reviews were awful, and after that, the studio kind of just forgot about it. But then 11 years later, the studio remembered about the movie that they made in 1994 and decided that they would reboot it with a new cast and try to make it better than the original. But nope, the reviews were still awful and they were pretty much as bad as the original. But the studio didn't give up and told everyone to not freak out and that they would just make a sequel and make it better than the first movie. That's what they did. And it still failed, like really badly, and then pretty much after that, the studio completely forgot about the Fantastic Four franchise.
But then almost a decade later, the studio remembered about the Fantastic Four and decided that they would make another reboot. But this time they take it seriously, like really seriously, like literally seriously. They take it much more seriously and try to make it better than the other Fantastic Four movies. And
the reviews were awful. It failed at the box office.
And every time someone would see a poster of the film, they'd be like,
"That is one big pile of shit."
And yeah, guys, it was a really sad time for Fantastic Four fans. But then years later, after its complete fail, the studio just gave up and decided that they would just hand the Fantastic Four over to Marvel Studios, where they're just gonna make another reboot with a new cast and just fix it up. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the Fantastic Four. You know, there's a studio who like makes a bunch of reboots and some sequels and never succeeds, and at the end, they give up. 20th Century Fox, everyone. Alrighty guys, all jokes aside, I want to talk about the types of reboots that like a studio takes like a very original classic movie and reboots it, and instead of like repeating the same story as the original did, they decided that they would maybe try to do something a bit different. They maybe like, tell the story a bit differently, that's even a word. They just maybe do something a bit different with the story and take it in a whole different direction, and just they try to do something a lot different instead of just repeating the same thing that the original did. And that's something I really liked about the 2019 Child's Play reboot.
The filmmakers took the character of Chucky and like did something different, like instead of just making him like another cursed doll that's being possessed by a serial killer, they decided that they would turn him into a freaking robot and just do something different, while at the same time respecting the 1988 film.
Speaking of horror movies, I want to start talking about horror remakes, but mainly the iconic ones.
Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street all got remade, and judging from the critics, none of them did good.
But I will admit, the first half of the Halloween reboot tried to do something different.
For like the first half of the movie, the filmmakers tried explaining like the backstory of Michael Myers as a kid and what drove him to like become an evil killer. Which is good, that's very creative. They're trying to do something different for like the start of the movie. It's very good, it's very creative.
And yeah guys, it was like very creative for like the first half of the movie. Like the other half is just a repeat of the original. And Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street don't do anything different. It's just, yeah, a repeat of the original. But yeah guys, I want to start talking about a reboot that came out like almost 4 years ago. And like the backlash against the movie was just it was bad, it was awful, so much opinions and so much hate, and like, oh my god, it was horrible. And I'm talking about the 2016 Ghostbusters reboot.
Guys, you already know this. 2016 was not the best year for Ghostbusters fans. Honestly, like every time a Ghostbusters fan would like click on one of the trailers for this movie, they'd immediately spam the dislike button and post a comment talking about how this movie is like ruined their childhood. It was every time for this movie. Like here's an example of what it always looked like.
And yeah, guys, it was like that for like every trailer of the movie. So what was wrong with the 2016 Ghostbusters reboot? Why, even before the movie came out, why was everyone hating on it? Was it because the movie, it was an all-female Ghostbusters movie? It was females? I hope that's not the reason. That would not be good. But no, the main reason was because there was no reason for it to exist. It's clear that it was just a cash grab, and Sony was just running out of ideas. It was like, let's make a quick buck. Let's make a Ghostbusters reboot. But let's try to do something different. Oh god, we gotta do something different. I can't think. Females. Just make it an all female. There you go. That's there. We made it different. There we go. So yeah, that's what pretty much Sony Pictures was like. So that's the thing. It's obviously just a cash grab. Sony's running out of ideas, so they think of, Ghostbusters. That was a popular film. Let's make a reboot with an all female just to make it a bit different. But it's not really. God, I don't know, guys. It's really dumb. I found the movie okay, but it wasn't great. It wasn't always that funny. It was known just to be a comedy. But yeah, I didn't really find it that great. It was just decent. Okay, it was okay. It was fine. It wasn't. It's not very memorable. It's very forgettable, honestly. But it's just fine, I guess. I don't know. But I think you guys already know this, but this year we're actually getting a new Ghostbusters reboot titled Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I don't know. Honestly, I actually don't know if it's a sequel or a reboot or not. It hasn't been fully announced. I don't freaking know. I don't know if it's a sequel. It was originally announced as a sequel to the original Ghostbusters. But, it's titled as Ghostbusters 3. But now we don't know, because when the trailer got released, it didn't show the old cast, like Bill Murray and everyone else. It just showed a bunch of, like, new people, like Finn Wolfhard and Paul Rudd. Like, it didn't show the original cast. Like, I don't know what the frick that was. But yeah, guys, it didn't really seem like a sequel. It just seemed like a reboot. But yeah, guys, if it's a sequel, then cool, I guess. If it's a reboot, then I'm hoping that there's actually a reason for this to exist, unlike the 2016 Ghostbusters. That was just out of nowhere, and just Sony were just running out of ideas. So I'm hoping that there's actually a reason for this to exist, except just to make a quick buck. And yeah, guys, I'm hoping that there's a reason. But overall, guys, that's really all I have to say about Ghostbusters. Anyways, guys, the last thing I want to talk about in this video today is the live-action Disney remakes.
Yes, guys, unfortunately Disney's getting very greedy now. Live-action Disney remakes, where pretty much Disney remakes their original classic animated movies and turns them into live-action. Which movies have they done exactly? Well, they've done movies like The Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King,
and plenty more. And obviously, I'm not a big fan of the live-action Disney remakes. One of the things I don't like about it is that they try to recreate sad scenes from the animated movies, Disney animated movies, like really sad scenes. They try recreating them in live action, and honestly, it's more hilarious than sad. Like I'm gonna show you an example. Like in the Lion King reboot with Mufasa's death and how they try to recreate it. I think they did a really bad job. I think it was more hilarious than sad. I think the way they handled it in the animated movie was more like devastating and sad than what they did in the reboot. I don't know what the frick they were doing with that. I'm actually going to show you the clip of the animated Mufasa's death, what Mufasa's death was like in the animated movie, and then I'm going to go to the reboot and kind of do a comparison. I can't even say the word, but you guys, I'm going to compare them. I'm going to show you the animated and then the reboot. I'm going to show you that the animated one looks more like devastating and sad, and the reboot's more laughable and hilarious. So here's like what it looked like in the animated movie.
Scar! Help me! Long live the king.
See, guys, it was freaking horrifying and sad. It was more devastating, and it gives you freaking goosebumps. Like, holy crap! Yeah, it's more. They handled it really, really well in the animated movie, and now we're gonna see how they handled it in the remake. Here it is.
Scar! Help me! Long live the king!
And there you go, guys. Please post your comments down below of which one you thought was more sad. The animated movie or the live action reboot? Please tell me which one you thought was more sad and just handled a lot better. If you think that the live action reboot made you more sad and more devastated, that's completely fine, that's your opinion. But to me, I think that the animated movie was more devastating and sad. That's just my opinion. If you think the live action reboot was more sad to you, that's all good, that's okay. But I want to start talking about the Aladdin remake. You remember the original animated Aladdin? You remember the genie? He was like a very crazy looking character, and the way he moved was crazy, and he was just, he was a very crazy character. And he's not really the type of character that if he was brought to life to live action, he wouldn't really suit well with live action. Yeah, he doesn't really suit well with live action in the Aladdin remake. That's what I'm trying to say. Just, I don't know, look at this shit. Look just the way he moves looks creepy, and his face looks creepy. He's played by Will Smith. But that doesn't make it anything better. No, he looks creepy as hell. The CGI looks pretty bad. Mainly his face. His face looks awful. And, every time they have, scenes of him very close up to his, shots of him, that's very close up to his face, it looks freaking creepy as hell. Hello! But overall, guys, I'm honestly just not a big fan of the live-action Disney remakes. But the question is, do they make money? Oh, hell yes, they do. They make billions of money. Goddamn, they make a lot.
But anyways, guys, do I think reboots should, never be a thing? No, I think that we do kind of need reboots. Reboots can be useful a lot for movies. I just like to make sure that they're not pointless, and studios out there are not, making reboots on, classics or original films that maybe don't need a reboot. And they're just doing it just to make a cash grab. It's like that for a lot of studios out there, unfortunately. But I'm hoping that more studios reboot something, and they hire talented filmmakers to do a good job, and also at the same time respect the original film. And I just hope that reboots just they continue to get better. And I do think reboots should continue to be a thing. And I just hope that reboots continue to succeed and never stop succeeding.
Alrighty, guys, this is going to be the end of my reboots video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video might have been out of nowhere. You're probably going to complain in the comments telling me, oh, why would this is so out of nowhere? Why are you making this video? I know it's out of nowhere, but I overall just hope you all enjoyed the video. I kind of want to encourage you all to maybe think about reboots. Every time a new movie comes out and it's a reboot of a classic or something, I want you to maybe this video was encouraging you to give reboots a second thought. If you go watch a reboot, or if you watch a trailer, or if you hear the announcement of a reboot coming out, you give it a second thought, and you're does this really need to exist, or is it just another cash grab? That's kind of what this video is encouraging you to do, just criticize on a reboot. So yeah, this is what I kind of want to do. Think about reboots a bit more, think, is it necessary or pointless, and just, whatever. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh my god, I forgot to tell you guys. Okay, I have a big announcement to make. It's probably going to shock you all. It might even make you really emotional. Oh my god, I'm about to get emotional. It's very, very shocking. It's making me emotional because of how shocking it is. It's probably going to make you guys emotional too. It's going to make you shocked. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually finally telling you guys this. This is going to be really, really shocking. You guys didn't. I'm not going to notice at all. You guys, you're gonna be shocked, and I'm shocked as well. What I'm about to tell you is very crazy, so please do not freak out, okay? You guys, right now, you are watching a YouTube video.